guys concentrate on this question, which is based on a stock out question. Measure Tyro Tubes trades in four-wheel tires and tubes. It stocks sufficient quantity of tires of almost every vehicle. Generally, they stock sufficient stock almost every time. However, in the year ended 22-23, the report of the sales manager revealed that Measure Tyro Tube experienced the stock out of tires. Although they keep the sufficient number of stocks, sometimes your requirement is more than that sufficient number of stock. Try to understand, this is not the minimum stock level. Here safety stock is all about keeping over and above your sufficient stock level. For example, now assume you are having a sufficient stock of 1000 tires. Now, once you got order for 1100 tires, and this happened 2 times. Like that it is. Stock out of tires, 100 tires got stock out. How many times? 2 times. You generally keep the safety stock of 1000 every day. However, 5 days or 5 times 1080 orders came. But you have a safety stock of stock of 1000, but requirement was 1080. How many tires you couldn't able to satisfy? 80. And let's assume you kept a 1050, but you got an order for, you kept 1000, but you got an order for 1050, and that happened 10 times. You kept the stock of 1000 and you got an order for 1020. That happened 20 times. You kept a stock of 1000, you got an order for 1010. That happened 30 times. You kept the stock of 1000, you got the order for less than or equal to 1000. That happened 33 times out of the observation of 100. If you see total, 2 plus 5, 7, 7 plus 10, 17, 17 plus 20, 37, 37 plus 30, 67, 67 plus 33, 100. Out of 100 observations they have given. So try to understand, will this happen all the day? No, which means here probability also comes into picture. Probability of that particular tires getting stock out, that also comes into picture in this question, keep in mind. Now, Measure Tyro Tubes will lose rupees 150 per unit due to stock out. That is, if at all stock out happens, then per unit of stock out they are losing 150 rupees. Sir, then I have one best idea, sir. What is it? Keep the stock of 1100. In my example, I don't know how much stock they kept as a sufficient stock. In my example, I took it as 1000. Now you do one thing, sir. You keep it as 1100. Why? Because if we get 1000 order, we can satisfy. 1010 we can satisfy. 1020 we can satisfy. 1050, 1080, even 1100 also we can satisfy. However, you have to carry 100 stock on an average every day. Extra. For that, 50 rupees extra you have to spend, no? So, spends 50 per unit on carrying the inventory. Sir, not 50 on 100, 50 on 1100. Hey, that 50 on 1000 is not in your control at all. That is safety stock. Here we are, sufficient stock. Here we are talking about optimum safety stock. That is, how much extra tires we should keep over and above 1000. Now you can't tell 1100, because if you keep 1100, I agree, this 150 into 100 you can reduce. However, 100 into 50 will come into picture, no? Extra cost. So safety stock will be how much, sir? Safety stock will be that amount of stock where your safety stock out cost as well as your carrying cost together will come minimum. If you keep some level of stock, your carrying cost and holding cost as well as your stock out cost will become minimum, not together. That we will consider it as safety stock level. Go through the question, guys, and try to process, understand whatever you want to do. Then we will start. Shall we start? Yes? Guys, don't write down. Don't write it. Listen. Please don't talk. At the same time, don't write. Concentrate completely here. It is a kind of unique question. Actually, in my syllabus, it was there. In between, they eliminated this question. Again, they have put back this question in the syllabus. Then, imagine about the requirement of this question in your syllabus. And so far in the examination, they haven't tested. And you never know. Your attempt might be the one attempt where you might get this kind of question. Now try to understand. Now I am going to do one table where first I will write down safety stock level, because I might keep here different safety stock level, like 100 I can keep, 80 I can keep, 50 I can keep, 20 I can keep, 10 I can keep, or let me not keep the safety stock at all, so that stock out cost is there, let it go. That kind of thing. So optimum stock level is derived from the existing stock. Existing stock will be there. Over and above that, we will be keeping some extra stocks. Now, safety stock units. Guys, if we keep the safety stock units, if we keep 100, of course, there won't be any stock out. But if we keep less than 100, there is a possibility of stock out or no? So, I'm going to consider stock out units. Yes. Now, my question is, will it happen all the time, or it is a probability that it might happen? Probability it might happen. So, I will consider probability of it happening also. Okay. Now we'll start one by one. First, let's say we keep the safety stock of 100 units. Let's say we keep the safety stock of 100 units. Then, see, my assumption in this question while solving is my sufficient stock level is 1000. Clear? Now my question is, if at all we get 1000 orders, will we be able to satisfy it or no? 1010, 1020, 1050, 1080, 1100. Moral of the story, stock out. You get 1000 order, less than 1000, up to 1100, the stock out cost will be 0 because stock out only won't be there. So probability will be nil. Probability of stock out happening is nil here. Clear? Next. What if I keep... Sir, where is this question found? Hey guys, try to understand. We can't do so much spoon feeding also. Now we have to at least go through the PDFs, whatever shared, no, ICI material once, no. So much effort you guys can put, no. What is this? Oh my God. Now assume, listen, now assume we are going to keep the safety stock of just 80. Just 80. Now my question, if we get 1000 requirement, can we satisfy it or no? 1010, 1020, 1050, 1080, 1100. So how much stock out will happen? 20. And what is the possibility of the 20 stock out happening? Now, can you tell it as 20 or 2? Guys, here is where everyone will do the mistake. While calculating a probability, try to understand. That 20 stock out happens, no, don't consider this data now, because this 20 happened 20 times because you kept stock of just 1000. Now the 20 stock out will happen only and only if you keep 1080 in stock. That too when you get the order for 1100 tires, which means the probability we should consider this one, not that one. For the probability, we should not consider this 20, consider 100. Because we are considering probability of we keeping 80 stock in safety stock plus our customers and coming and ordering for 1100, not 1080 or less. Which means we should consider this for the probability. So shall we first write down the probabilities here once? How much is the total? 100, no? Yes. Tell me 2 by 100, 5 by 100, 10 by 100, 20 by 100, 30 by 100, this one. However, that doesn't make any difference, that 0.33, because stock out only won't be there. What will be there? Got it? So, now, probability of we getting the order for 1100 is 0.02. Got it? Anyone, any doubt here? This writing probabilities itself is the thing, because generally you might go for this 0.2 also, not 0.02, telling that 20 stock out, no sir. So 20 stock out last time happened 20 times, sir. That 20 times happened because you kept the stock of 1000. Here you are keeping the stock of 1080. That 20 stock out will happen only if you get an order for 1100. Last time out of 100 days, how many days you got 1100 orders? Only 2 times. That probability we should consider, not the probability of keeping 1000 and getting order for 1020. Hope it's clear. Now, what if we keep the safety stock of just 50? Now my question, if we get the order for 1000, will we able to satisfy it or no? If we get the order for 1010, will we able to satisfy it or no? If we get the order for 1020, will we able to satisfy it or no? If we get the order for 1050, will we able to satisfy it or no? If we get the order for 1080, will we able to satisfy it or no? No. How many units? 30. Also, if we get the order for 1100, will we able to satisfy? How many units? 50. Not 20, 50 units we can't satisfy. What is the probability that we will get a 1080 orders? 0.05. And what is the probability that we will get 100 orders extra? 0.02. I hope now you understood which probability to take, why to take. Shall we go to the next level? That is keeping the safety stock of 20. Keeping the safety stock of 20. Now my question, if you keep the stock of 1000, 20, and you get the order for 1000, can you be able to satisfy? 1010, 1020, 1050? No. How many units you can't satisfy? 1080 if you get, how many units you can't satisfy? 1100 if you get? Got it? What is the probability of you getting 1050 orders? 0.1. What is the probability of you getting 1080? What is the probability of you getting 1100 orders? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you keep the safety stock of just 10, can you satisfy 1000 orders? Can you satisfy 1010 orders? Can you satisfy 1020 orders? How many units you can't satisfy? Can you satisfy 1050 orders? How many units you can't satisfy? Can you satisfy 1080 orders? How many units you can't satisfy? Can you satisfy 1100 orders? How many units you can't? And what is the probability of you getting 1020 orders? 0.2, no? What is the probability of you getting 1050? Probability of you getting 1080? Probability of you getting 1100? So here the probability calculation is very important factor in the examination. Don't mess it. Try to understand. Over and above safety stock, whatever that is there, for that what is the probability you should calculate. Now, there is one more way of keeping safety stock to 0. Now, you get 1000 orders. Can you satisfy? So, if you get 1010, how many units you can't? If you get 1020, if you get 1050, if you get 1080, if you get 1100, and what is the probability of you getting 1010 orders? 0.3. Guys, I am telling again, 1000 I took it as an assumption as a sufficient stock. You can take 10,000 also, I don't mind. Now again, don't touch. Say 1000 where is in question? Like it is there in question. It's not there in question. Next, what is the probability of 1020? 0.2. 1050? 1080? 1100? Clear? Now, let's calculate how much will be our stock out cost. But remember one thing, here as the probability is there, your expected stock will be considered, expected stock out will be considered, not the stock out. Expected stock out, which means stock out into probability of it happening, that will be considered, not the stock out. Now your stock out cost. Guys, shall I consider this as A, this as B? Can I tell my stock out cost will be expected cost, expected stock out, that is A into B, into per unit of stock out, how much it is? Rupees 150. Now, sir, once again, please explain how to calculate probability alone. $150, no? See, if you keep the safety stock of 1100, then whatever you might get here, the extra orders, you will be able to satisfy. Let's say if you keep the stock of just 80 extra, then if you get so much, you will be able to satisfy. But if you get 1100 order, you won't be able to satisfy. Now, we should consider for that stock out 20 as safety stock out probability of we losing. Consider this one probability, not 20 means this one. That's how you should calculate probability for everything. Stock out cost per unit. So 20 into 0.02 into 150, how much guys? Sorry? 60. See, first one there is no stock out. Second one 60. Third one, there are two expected stock outs. So total will be my stock out cost, expected stock out cost. Because 30 also stock out possibility is there, 50 also is there. Sir, both can happen. Yes, both can happen. Because one time 30 might happen, one time 50 also might happen, no, in that 100 days. So both total will be my stock out cost there. How much is 30 into 0.05 into 150? 220. And how much is 50 into 0.02? 150. So if you keep the safety stock of 50, what would be the total stock out cost I can expect? On an average, I can expect 375 rupees as my stock out cost. Next, that is 30 into 0.1 into 150, 450, 60 into 450, 240, together will come to 140. It is 1140. That is 30 into 0.1 into 150 plus 60 into 0.05 into 150 plus 80 into 0.02 into 150. Together it is 1140. Going to this one, 10 into 0.2 into 150. 300. 14. 600. 5. And 270. May I know the total, please? 1695. 1695. Is it clear? Give me a second. I will highlight and keep. Otherwise, you might take different numbers here. Now, 10 into 0.3 into 150. 20 into 0.2 into 150. 50 into 0.1 into 150. 80 into 0.05. 100 into 0.02. 2000. This will be your total stock out cost, what you can expect. Clear? Now, shall we go for carrying cost also? Inventory carrying cost. Guys. Inventory carrying cost. By the way, can I address it as C? This I will take it as D. Now, listen here. Inventory carrying cost. I should take carrying cost per inventory carried into number of inventories carried on an average. One thing you have to remember here, while calculating carrying cost, we used to consider half of the order size. Here, don't consider that half of safety stock. Why, sir? What do you mean by safety stock? Each and every day. For example, if you take first one, each and every day I am keeping 100 stock extra. Throughout the year, how many stock is there in my inventory extra? 100 or 50? 100, no. If you go for the second one, throughout the year, each and every day will be having 80 stock extra, which means don't consider that half. Don't consider that half here. Got it? Got it, guys? So for the inventory carrying cost in this question, don't apply that logic of half into order size. There half into order size because we are not carrying full inventory throughout the year. Every day we won't carry the same amount. It keeps on reducing. But here, every day we are maintaining the same level. So there is no point of reduction. So here it will be safety stock into rupees 50. No half and all. How much is 100 into 50? 5,000. How much is 80 into 50? 4,000. How much is 15? 20 into 50? 10 into 50? And 0 into 50? Now, at different safety stock level, I will be having all these different cost. So together I should select one safety stock level where there will be a balance between my holding cost as well as safety stock, stock out cost, that is where the total cost is minimum. Where the total cost is minimum, that is total cost. That is C plus D. In the first scenario, how much is C plus D? Only 5,000. Second one, that's what I told. You might think that, sir, if we keep 100 stock extra, there is no stock out cost. Yes, there is no stock out cost. But if you keep 80, stock out cost will be there, but still your total cost will be less. All the stock out cost is there, still your holding cost, by incurring 60 rupees stock out cost, you will be able to save 1000 rupees of holding cost. Instead of 5,000, it will be 4,000. No. For the next one, next one, 2,140. Next one, 2,195. Next one, 2,700. That is, here not only keeping safety stock at all, not keeping safety stock at all. Of course, holding cost will be reduced, but your stock out cost leads to 2,700. Now, out of all these alternatives, you tell me which is best alternative. 2,140. That is 20. So, what question they have asked here? Determine the optimum safety stock as total of stock out cost and holding cost is minimum at safety stock level of 20 units or 20 tires, you can write. Twenty tires should be considered as optimum safety stock. Hope it is clear, guys. Yes? Okay. Now you take it down. Till what it's done, like where it's done?
20.
Till here it's done, guys. Rullappa. Done. 20 is done. Somewhere you should show that calculation of probabilities also, okay? Keep that thing in mind. Is it done? Yes? Okay. Guys, we'll take a break now and we'll continue at 6:43.